Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on.
My name is Amanda Joan Quimper. I've had prophetic dreams, angelic encounters, revelations, and a vision from God to bring awareness to modern moral issues. I want to share my creative arts, poetry, experiences, and stories with you. God is abundantly above and beyond what we could have asked or even imagined, and the most important truth that exists is love.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic podcast. And today, the Awaken and Unite show with my good friend Amanda Joan of Heart's here with me. I got to meet Amanda in person twice at the Full Disclosure Now conference, and she's as nice of a person in person as she is, as you see on camera. And she is doing a really good thing at Awaken and Unite. She's bringing forward a lot of good information, and today we're going to be getting into all kinds of stuff like 6G data centers, and then some of her encounters. And she titled it a Holiday Madness Edition. So we'll see where we go. It'll be really fun. It's going to be a good show no matter what. But with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Amanda, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
2026. Oh boy.
I know, right? It's scary because it's like it seemed like it went too fast, It went way too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like things are speeding up. It seems like time's speeding up, and it keeps moving faster for some reason,
Yep. And they're trying to bum rush all this stuff in on us over the holidays, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 hearings already, like right around the holiday. They're trying to bum rush the data centers into our county here in Ohio, where I live, and we're fighting it. They're trying to take 500 acres of agricultural land and turn it into industrial. And
Wow.
the people, they were trying to do the hearing before the 20 to 40 days that Ohio revised code makes you wait to do a hearing, and they're trying to bum rush it in before those, days that they're supposed to give you. And the people caught wind of it, thank God, right before they had the hearing, and we had over 130 people show up to the first one. And yeah, it's really sad. A lot of people stood up and had a lot of good things to say. Well, not good things to say about what they're trying to do. These data centers take, up to 55 million gallons a day of water. That's over a whole city of water in one day.
What are they using so much water for? What do you think they're doing with all that water? Like, what the hell?
They run it through their air condition machines to heat and cool it, the servers or something. And it's draining our resources. Within 100 years, your kids ain't going to have anything here if they allow this. We will have nothing, and no return on it. And if it doesn't work, or if the electric grid fails, like the $1 billion data center they just had to shut down in Columbus, then they just shut it down. They did all that, and they got to tear it down. So, and then the electric grid won't hold some of these things. So it's pretty scary.
That's yeah.
More power outages, more problems. And not only that, it raises your electric and water bills. Like
75 to 80% or higher. So who's going to pay for this? The people, unfortunately. And yeah.
That's how it always is. Karen in the chat made a good comment. She said, think about a gaming computer, how much cooling fans it needs. Says you can have water coolants for air conditioners. Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to Jay Skyrunner. He's a friend. He's in the chat. He said he just turned 50 today. So happy birthday, man. And and yeah, it looks like we already got a good crowd coming in, so that's good. Yeah, but like, so you've been to hearings against these already? Are you able to like make any headway, or what's going on?
Well, I put everyone on notice. So I put the commissioners, who are the ones trying to push this through really fast. They have an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, with the company that's coming in. They won't even tell us the company that's coming in. So this is, our public servants are supposed to be transparent with the people, and they're not. That's treasonous in itself. Not only that, when we went to make a public comment on the record and put them on notice, my friend went in there and they scratched 17 seconds of his public comment, which was the most important parts of his public comment, which basically said, I'm putting you on notice, and I am here in protest to the data centers. So right there, that's treasonous. So I put our commissioners on notice. The trustees in New Russia Township, Ohio, they're the ones that have to like give a yay or a nay on this whole thing. So I put them on notice so that they put our best interests at heart. The zoning commission that's going to rezone the property, I put them on notice. Then I also had to go a week before Christmas to our EPA in Ohio is about to, they have drafted a permit for the whole state of Ohio to allow all the data centers in Ohio to dump the wastewater from the data centers into all of Ohio's waterways, which is also treasonous under the Constitution. And these are PFAs. These are forever chemicals that cause cancer that are going to be released into our waterways if this permit goes through. So I also put the EPA on notice. And then I went ahead and I found out that our Congress is doing a bill called HR 2289, which will allow any 5 or 6G structure to be put on any building that will hold it, whether it's in a housing development, on your water towers, on anywhere they want it, on learning centers, schools, stadium lights, which I'm seeing already, stuff like that. So that they will just be allowed to do whatever they want, which is, horrible. So like in California years ago, I remember hearing after the 4th kindergartner got a brain tumor, then they're questioning the cell tower next door to the school.
Yeah.
And there's another one that I'm going to show later. Same thing. 8 people got, cancer, and they're taking down the tower next to that. I think it was a school or something.
Yeah. It's crazy. It seems like they always do this around the holidays. They'll try to implement new laws. They try to, because they figure everybody's busy with the holidays, so they can sneak it in underneath our noses, and they do this every year with new laws and stuff like that. If you notice that, like, they always do that around this time, and I don't think the people who are in control, from the extraterrestrials that run this planet to like the civil servants to like the lawmakers and the people, everybody seems to be corrupt, and everybody seems to not care about like human overall well-being. You know what I mean? They just want to make money, and like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's horrible. I know what you mean. This is like, yeah. So
It kills the data centers, will kill all the wildlife, the squirrels, no more squirrels, no more birds, no more, ladybugs, bees, this is, all that. It will kill. It's air pollution that is, you can't breathe already. My county is one of the worst counties in the whole state for air pollution. So it's really bad.
This is really bad. Yeah.
And the noise pollution from these things, the noise pollution, kids are having to go and sleep in their basements because of the noise pollution. It makes this hum that just is annoying, and like people can't sleep. They're having headaches, insomnia, all kinds of physical issues because all these data centers are ran on 5G as well.
Yeah.
And soon to be 6G is where we're heading, and that's serious danger zone, which I'm gonna share here in a minute. I can share some stuff about it.
Yeah, Dowman 1111 in the comments says you can see how depressed the population is becoming because of how toxic our environment is. It's a good point.
True story. I can play this video of me speaking at the hearing if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. That's not it. All right, hold on. Let me.
My name is Amanda Joan Quimper. I'm the creator of AwakenAndUnite.com. I am also a member of the Lorain County Committee of Safety, a lawful assembly settled on the land under the First Amendment in the Bill of Rights, the right to assemble. Formed by and for the people of Lorain County, this assembly exists to uphold our unalienable rights, defend the Constitution, and hold public servants accountable to their oaths of office, meaning do no harm and do not trespass. We invite the people to join us in restoring self-governance, promoting truth and transparency, and protecting our communities from government or corporate overreach, abuse of power, and harm to our land, air, and water. The harms of data and or mega centers include the harms of 5G gigahertz technology, which is now expanding into 6G terahertz, which is 100 times more powerful than 5G. This direction is turning humanity into walking receivers and transmitters of electromagnetic frequencies, which is biowarfare on humanity. This is lethal. The street lights are lethal. They make you blind. The traffic lights are 5G as well. They track and trace your face. They take biometric data from you like China. Please research the term targeted individuals, because these people are emitting high levels of EMFs with the nanotechnology already in their bodies acquired through food, air, and water. As shown in my documentaries at awakenandunite.com. The EPA is moving to approve a new permit next week that would allow wastewater from nearly 200 data centers to be discharged into Ohio's waterways across the entire state. This is treason and unconstitutional. Ohio Congress is pushing HR 2289, a bill that would allow 5G antennas on almost any structure, even schools, learning centers, and housing developments. This all must stop. Our land, wildlife, and communities are under attack. The people deserve truth and protection. Wake up, rise up, and hold them accountable. I'm here in protest of any data center and or mega site in Lorain County. This is a special, non-negotiable deposit I am serving today, entrusted to our public trustees. Thank you for your service, and I pray you to act in alignment with the will of the American people.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bernard.
It was really good. It was really good. I was happy you got a standing ovation too. That was like you did a really, that was amazing. That was really good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Down man in the audience says, "Well done, Amanda. You were awesome." I agree. That was really. And Katie says, "Wow." Like, yeah, you deserve a lot of credit for doing that. Like, not a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, well, the problem is we need a whole learning curve because nobody knows how to do this kind of stuff. Most people don't. And there's different ways that we can do this. So some of the ways you're going to have to research and figure it out for yourself, unfortunately. But through a declaration in equity and enforcing them under equity jurisdiction is one, or under the Constitution, under common law would be another way that I know of that is actually working if you know how to work it. But some places are just throwing it out and not acknowledging it, and it's all fraud when they do that. So there's some good teachers out there that are teaching this. I was warned not to teach this because it's dangerous. So I'm hesitant on teaching this myself because they know someone personal that had passed away because of teaching this stuff. And that person was a great teacher. I'd have to look up. I forgot the name of the teacher. Dang it.
Robert Duncan? Was it Robert Duncan?
No. Well, he teaches about the nanotechnology.
He died. He passed away. I know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And I was fortunate enough to get his intel. He is on my documentaries at awakenandunite.com. Look under the targeted individual documentaries. There's one on the mass UFO and disclosure movement documentary that I completed. And then there's another one on the Truth or Content page, a full targeted individual documentary of my friend Desiree Foley with PAX International. And she goes thoroughly over her story and how basically she's a walking cell tower. So now with the 6G we're going to get into here, we are all capable of becoming targeted individuals. That means they are capable of simulating thoughts into your brain. So now your thoughts aren't even your own thoughts anymore. They can move your limbs. They can put voices in your head. It's called V2K, voice to skull technology. They can put a psychopath's brain map into your brain map and make you think like a psychopath. And next thing you know, you've got a psychopath's mind. So there's so many things that they can do. The sky's unlimited. This is like a hive mind they're trying to put us on to make us more easily controlled. It's pretty scary.
It really is. I believe that they use that V2K more than people realize. Like, and I believe they do it when, like, you see a lot of like Manchurian candidates. And when I had Arkeem and Drago on last night, we were talking about this a little bit. Like, but like, this is where you get your school shooters. You know what I mean? Because like, and think about like people, like there was like the news here in Pittsburgh yesterday. I was eating dinner and I told this yesterday on the Arkeem show. Some kid, like his dad said he looked possessed. That was his dad's exact words. He said the kid looked possessed and he was drooling from his mouth and he shot his mom in the head and he unalived his mother and he went after his father, but the bullet missed. But like his dad said he was like in a possessed state. And then you have that guy in California, the Rob Reiner death, the director. You know what I mean? His son freaked out and killed unalived the dad and the mother. You know what I mean? So you have to think like, where are these people? Why are these people going so crazy? And why are people going nuts? It could be from voice to God technology. It could be from entity possession. It could be from both. Sometimes the government uses entities and they, it's like, and sometimes people don't even know that they're being, used or being like, It's like you said, that they could be fine 1 second, then they could commit some kind of heinous crime and then wake up and snap out of it and not even know what they did. So that's how dangerous this technology is. And that's how dangerous what is going on. You know what I mean? I really truly believe it's worse than we can ever imagine, you know. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I think like one of the biggest things is you have to know yourself, you know what I mean? And you have to really fight for your own mental sovereignty, you know.
Yeah. Use discernment and observe what you're getting. Don't just go with it. Like, is this from God? Is this from the highest source of love, your higher self, you know? Or is this from something else, spiritual, or it could be extraterrestrial, or it could be intelligence agency stuff and being targeted by them. It's really messed up.
How's Desiree doing? Like, is she getting like better with her targeting she's dealing with and stuff, or like?
She had a lawsuit, and after she had the lawsuit she was in, her targeting stopped. So that's, as of now, I haven't heard much since then, but yeah. Pretty scary times. So.
Yeah. So Jerry Leigh Haynes says in the chat, he says, psychic investigating Rob Reiner got clear messages. The mom and son were 700 years ago entangled, where the dad unalived the son in that case. Wow. That's interesting, Jerry. Joy Cross Psychic did that.
Yeah, I want to look up something real quick. Yeah, if you know, and somebody said in here the alien, it could be aliens too, targeting you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
As well. Well, yeah, they don't want us awakening. They want us on a they want us on a reverse Merkaba. They want the negative agenda aliens like the Luciferian Anunnaki and Mardikian and these different races of beings. They're trying to stop us from waking up. They got everything running in reverse, and we can reverse our Merkaba fields and all that. You know, this is in Ashiana Dean's book. This is our duty, you know, and why she wrote this book was to try to stop this stuff so that we can still, you know, the halls of Amenti can open. We have these seals that have been on us. There's the Peladorian seal, the Amenti seal, the Luciferian seal, the Zeta seal. These seals are coming off since 2012 off of us, but they're trying to stop it. So they're trying to roll out these, 6G in this stuff so that it stops us from awakening our electromagnetic fields coming back online to our divine inheritance, our 12-strand DNA blueprint, that Jesus had when he was on earth. He was able to do these works because his DNA was unlocked and opened. I'm going to read here in a partner book that I had ran across. Upon discovering these profitable future events, guardian groups made an appeal to the resistance Zetas, telling them of the Draco's betrayal and offering to assist them in relocation if they would give up their infiltration plan. The Zetas refused to alter their plans. Though the Guardians could easily subdue the Draco Zeta legions in a forced confrontation, such a confrontation would cause major damage to the Earth's Merkaba fields, which would ensure the destruction of the human populations. The Guardians had to find a better way to avert the new Draco Zeta agendas. Not only did the Guardians bear the responsibility for preparing Earth and humanity for 2012, they now had the additional burden of protecting their preparation plan from the Draco Zeta resistance, sabotage. In December of 1984, the Syrian Council, Palladian Star League, Syrian Arcturian Coalition for Interplanetary Defense, the Andromedan Federation of Planets, and the Caledonians of HU-2, and several other Guardian groups from HU-1 and HU-2 and HU-3 co-created the Bridge Zone Project in order to protect Earth and the human populations from Draco Zeta resistance, infiltration, and the destruction of Earth in 2976 AD that would result from this interference. The Draco Zeta resistance is presently quite aware of the Guardians' Bridge Zone plan, but they are confident that humanity will be unable to rise to the occasion and feel sure their infiltration plan will be successful. The Guardians believe humanity can indeed pull together and make the Bridge Zone project a success. For this reason, we of the Guardian Alliance bring to you this hidden knowledge so that you may be prepared to make a stand on behalf of your own evolution and freedom. So it's our job to make a stand from reading that, I believe. So that was interesting to run across that. I have not read her whole book from front to back, but a lot of her book, there's parts of it I have read that really resonate with me, and it's the only book that has explained a lot of the experiences that I've had. So I'd like to get Christos Avatar on here, maybe with you, Rob, and let's talk about Ashiana Dean book and the Guardians and this whole thing and flesh it out one day, because I'd really like to talk about this stuff and some of the stuff that I've been shown relating to this book and whatnot.
Yeah, Indigo Angel knows the Ashiana Dean material well too. She's
Okay.
And so does you know who else knows it really well is Jermaine from the Consciousness War, and also what was it? Marvel Bliss. Remember Marvel from the conference? Like her and Jermaine
I
brought
love her.
Ashiana Dean material a couple of years ago. I mean, like, not more than a couple of years ago. I mean, like a lot of other people did too, but they really like brought it, a lot of it into the community. Jermaine and Marvel, we should get a like a panel podcast together. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was going to go over.
Rodman says Laura Eisenhower knows the Ashiana Dean material as well. Yeah, we got it. We should. It would be cool to think of like a group who all knows the. I knew, like get like Laura Eisenhower, Indigo Angel, that guy you said, Christos Avatar. Like get like a. Yeah, that would be cool. I never thought about that. That's a good idea. You know?
Yeah, or Carrie Cassidy. I was wanting to.
Oh yeah, she knows it. She knows it. Yeah. So and Gene Decode knows it as well too. You know, we could get a big podcast. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, flesh it out, man. We gotta bring our resources and knowing together and talk it out, man. Let's figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got a decent crowd watching. Did you want to talk about some of your experiences tonight? Or you were talking about maybe, or
yeah, do you want to go into any of these slides I have on what just happened?
Yeah. You can put your I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Okay, so some of them I can't read the whole thing. I just took some screenshots, but hey, so this one, basically, this technology is coming out. This is a new law signed into law. National Defense Authorization Act has been signed into law as of the 18th of December. This is going to try to help us force us to accept 6G. This was just signed into law by President Trump. Section 1, the purpose. Communication network 6G will be foundational to the national security, foreign policy, and economic prosperity of the United States. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. 6G will also provide faster, more resilient, and more secure communication networks that can be utilized for national security and public safety purposes. So there again, public safety purposes. So it's like, the whole COVID thing was all, oh, we can do this in the name of public safety, right? So here's the law. It's called the National Defense Authorization Act. If you want to take a screenshot of that. National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2026, designated as law, was signed by President Trump on December 18th, authorizing funding and setting policies for the Department of Defense, Energy, State, and Intelligence Community for FY 2026, covering military pay raises, national security programs, defense industrial base strengthening, and various other defense-related authorities, including new provisions for missile defense and technology. Section 1, purpose. This is another lady's thing. She goes over it. We just read that, but she goes a little deeper, basically showing the 7.125-7.4 gigahertz frequency range is part of the microwave band, specifically within the upper frequency allocations for wireless communications, is currently being, I can't read that word, for potential relocation for commercial use as indicated by government initiatives. Now, talking about microwave bands, Redacted did a great thing on 6G, a great YouTube video on 6G. So check out Redacted's podcast on it. But basically, she's saying it's a microwave band here, and there's a professional lady on his podcast that says this is high enough hertz for 6G is high enough hertz to penetrate through skin and fat layer directly into the blood and veins. This damages your DNA and makes your cells retarded. Microwave band in the electromagnetic spectrum. The microwave band is generally defined to range from about 1 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz. This frequency range plays a significant role in various technologies, including communication, radar, and cooking. Position in the spectrum, microwaves sit between the radio waves, lower frequencies, and infrared radiation frequencies. Here's a general breakdown. So breakdown. Microwave position in spectrum. Microwaves sit between the radio waves, lower frequencies, and infrared radiation, higher frequencies. Here's a general breakdown. Radio waves are 3 hertz to 300 gigahertz. Includes AM, FM, and TV broadcasts. Microwaves is 1 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz. Infrared radiation is 100 gigahertz to 430 terahertz. So this is where we're going, is into the terahertz with 6G. So this is insane.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's next level shit. It's like they're really trying to, mess up the world,
While microwaves are not classified as ionizing radiation, certain frequencies, particularly in the higher microwave range, can be potentially hazardous under prolonged or intense exposure. Key concerns include thermal effects. Microwaves can cause heating of biological tissues, particularly in the eyes and skin. Non-thermal effects. Research is ongoing to other potential effects that microwave exposure may have on biological systems. And so here's a cell tower above school shuts down after 8 kids are diagnosed with cancer. They also did a study, world's first published study reveals alarming health effects after 5G towers activated near homes. Swedish researchers reviewed 7 case reports documenting what happened when 5G base stations were installed near people's homes. This is the first study of its kind tracking changes before versus after 5G activation. 16 people were tracked, ages 4 to 83, living 3 to 538 meters from the new 5G antennas. Changes were immediate. Once 5G activated, radiation inside homes jumped to millions of microwatts per square meter. Within 24 hours, residents started experiencing symptoms. Symptoms appeared within 24 hours to 1 week, which was severe insomnia, headaches and fatigue, difficulty concentrating, memory problems, skin burning / tingling. Even a 4-year-old was affected. One family's case was extreme. One family's symptoms became so unbearable within 1 week they permanently abandoned their home. When residents moved away from towers temporarily, symptoms improved. When they returned, symptoms came back. That's why I guess that your cells go retarded when you're around them, and then when you go away from them, they start going back to normal. Dr. Leonard Hardwell warns radiation was below safe limits, yet people got sick. Current safety standards don't protect against biological effects. 5G is expanding everywhere. Last one for this. If 5G can trigger symptoms in healthy adults and children within days, even at levels considered safe, what happens as towers multiply everywhere? You can't control tower placement, but you can protect your body. So yeah, there's now people are making clothes. They're doing a lot of things to combat these things. But yeah. And then here you got earbuds. The Apple earbuds have patents to record brainwaves. They are reading our minds without consent. That's how they target individuals. They map your brain and they're able to put voices in there, do whatever they want. Once your brain, they get your brain map your brain. It's like a web address. It's like hooking up the computer and putting a web address in. All they have to do is put your brain map in, and then they can just locate your brain, put whatever they want in. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's horrible. It's crazy stuff. Yeah.
Just go over some quick notes. So they're 180 scientists in over 440 countries wanted a moratorium and from an independent industry because it was proven harmful. They wanted this, they wanted their own independent from industry study because 6G terahertz is 100 times harder than 5G. So you're going from gigahertz to terahertz. It's like going from fentanyl to heroin. Okay. This basically can predict your movements. They know wherever you are, what you're doing, everything. And they're going to bounce this frequency off of walls, windows, street signs, whatever they can. Basically, environments becomes the network with trillions per second going through you. So not only are you going to be able to you can hack into computers right now. With this 6G, they'll be able to hack into whole society. Think about it.
I think they already do that. We're already in a mass surveillance state. Depending on where you live, there's worse surveillance, and they blame it on crime. But it's not that. It's more like we're gonna end up being in one of those futuristic, I don't know. Like it's gonna get bad. We'll have like drones flying around doing surveillance on people and shit. You know, it's gonna be. I don't know, but I mean, if we can overcome this stuff, and we can like take this world back, and that's kind of what our mission is. You know, that's like why we're here. That's why we're supposed to. You know, I mean. And it's not just us; it's everybody in the audience. Like everybody plays their part. You know, everybody does their part in like trying to fix this world. You know.
Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff going on right now. I'm pretty sad. It's very aggravating.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Terahertz infrared is between microwave and visible light spectrum, someone said.
Oh man, 111. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, other than that, how's everybody doing with aliens and everything else?
Yeah. Does anybody have any encounters they want to? Oh, you know what we can do? I figured this. I didn't think about this. We can take some live calls. If anybody wants to call in here, let me fire it up, guys. Hold on. Let me go to callinstudio.com. Yeah, you guys can call in. I'll put I don't have the banner to put up. Can you put up a banner, real quick? Or Jason, if you know, you can even put up a comment. Jason will put up the comment with the number to call in. It's 573-877-7637. And I can give you that again, you know, like if you want to take some calls, you know, I'm going to log in right now. You know, that I tried taking calls last show. Nobody called in, you know, so I'm giving you people the opportunity to call in now. You know, I'll put it in the chat too. And maybe you can put the comment up on the thing. Let me see here. Start show as host. I got to call in real quick and start it. So it's only take a second. I hope you guys call in. You know, let me see here. All right. Let me see here.
Some crazy stuff going on. I've had an experience in this last year that wasn't good. I don't think it was good.
Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Okay, people can call anytime they want now. Yeah, we're on. So yeah, I mean, we'll just leave that in the background, and I'll put a thing up. But what happened to you? Like, what did you experience this year? Like, more encounters?
All right. Well, early this year, in the beginning of this year, I was experiencing a really bad narcissist relationship, and I just learned about recently. Now I'm learning about the love bite and all these things. This person had experience with being abducted, they believed, by a tall gray. So I don't know if it was in connection, because I heard if you're dating people that have these ties with these beings, you can be subject to getting, you know, abducted or whatnot because you're with someone that is. So I don't know if that's what it was or what, but I went to go to sleep one night. I remember it was one of my not greatest days of the year, so I don't know if I was just at a lower vibration that day or what. But I was just falling asleep, and I opened my eyes and I saw this short little being at the end of my bed, and it looked like a short gray, but it looked like it had a brown or a tan skin tone, not gray. And it didn't have the big oval eyes. It had I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that if it had those big black eyes, I would have noticed that. So I think it had more normal eyes, but it's hard to see because it was dark. And once it realized that I was looking at it and could see it, it got scared and it ran out of the room, out of like away from me. into like the other room because I was sleeping on my couch. So it ran into like the dining room area and I couldn't see it anymore. And then from there, all of a sudden, this big metallic orb, bigger than a basketball, came back from where it went and came back into the room and came over top of me and was shooting. It was like this metallic-y orb. Like I see orbs and stuff. I've seen most of them are translucent. Some of them, I heard the word Elohim when I, experienced it. The first one I ever saw years ago. And it was translucent, see-through. This one was different. It was metallic and it was shooting this like energy all the way through my stomach. It freaked me out. I was just at that point just praying. Like I should have got up and ran. I don't know. I was just praying that this was a good thing. And, because I always believed I was pretty heavily protected from all the God experiences that I've had and divine encounters, throughout my life. So I just prayed that this was good. And I don't know what the heck it was. But that kind of weirded me out a little bit. And so that was one thing that happened. I think the guy I was dating, had a lot of stuff going on though. I think he was under some serious warfare himself and being manipulated and just acting not nice to me a lot of times. And just, I don't know. I think he was almost also like some form of being possessed or something. I don't know. Especially when he would drink, he was not himself and just evil. It wasn't good. So be wary of parasites in your life and try to get negative things out of your life that aren't good, because it will really take you down, and it really took me down pretty hard this year. I was experiencing anxiety attacks. I never thought that a narcissist relationship would put you in. I feel like that was contributing to having anxiety attacks and stuff like that. So, stay in situations too long and it will not reap good rewards. It really, I didn't realize the impact that it could have on a person. I thought I was strong enough to deal with anything. I made it through, survived drug addiction. I just kind of always thought I was invincible, and I most of the time didn't let it affect me. And I stayed at a high vibration, being around somebody that was constantly pulling on my energy. But, I did go down to lower vibrations, and I did let it affect me. And, and he would hit me where it would hurt, and I think that's, came from trauma in his childhood or whatever. But, and I had compassion for that. And I believe that he wanted to be better, and he would tell me he'd want to be better and all that. So I know, sometimes people change, sometimes you can't change people. So the only person you can change is yourself. So stay strong.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds to me like you had something like the love bite, like that.
That's what I'm learning. It's like, what? I didn't even know anything about that. Yeah, tell us more about that stuff.
Well, it's also like you have these relationships where like the partner can act like a handler, you know what I mean? And they put these people in your life to try to handle you, because a lot of times, like, did you ever notice like when you do something like when you break a story, or like when you do a really good podcast or something, like you'll get targeted. That's what happens to me. Like anytime I come out with something that's like really good information that's going to affect the consciousness or something like that, something catastrophic like targeting happens. Like, and this would happen in relationships too. You know what I mean? I would do, it's like something would happen, and like I would have women come into my life that would like try to like be like handlers, and I don't know. It's like. And what Eve Lorgan says is, she says, that's the alien love bite. Like they can have alien orchestrated relationships where they put people together to derail their path, kind of, to take them off course, and yeah.
Yeah, listen to your intuition, man, because I knew in the beginning I would just kept this person as a friend for a few years, and we were just friends, and we were fine as friends. And then I had a dream one day and thought, oh, maybe this means something, and I, crossed those boundaries into a relationship, and it just went all bad. So be careful what you dream. Don't just go with anything, because now they can manipulate your dreams. So
Yeah. Going back to my friend Indigo Angel, she talks about that. She talks about how the Draco reptilians they have like dream technology where they're manipulating the astral realms. We did a show on that. It's interesting for sure. But I'm like big on dreams. Like I'm trying to figure out what goes on in dreams, because I think I've told you this. Like I've had these dreams where, I'll go to sleep for 5 hours, but I'm gone for like months. Like whatever's like, and I go through these dream sequences. Like I'll be in one place and I'll be living out a whole life, and then it'll just stop, and then I'll go to another place and I'm living out a whole life, and then I wake up and I'm like, sometimes I'll be in a sweat, or sometimes it feels like I've worked out, or like like I've got like the things that happen in the dream are affecting my body in this life. Like I'm having like physical, like like physical stuff, like from like when I wake up. So it's weird. Like I'm like, what is the astral? What is the dream world? It's just another reality. It's just another version of this world. It's just not lucid. You're lucid and physical in this world. You have a form, you know what I mean? And that in those worlds we're like formless, So it's like, but I still think it's like the same, and it can have an effect on like you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess what the dream world is the fourth dimension. A lot of people say. Do you think that, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's another dimension. I don't know if I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely it's definitely an alternate realm. Like I mean, because some people think that that it's just like that our brain makes all this up. I don't think that. I think we actually go somewhere. And the proof of that is like people who have out of body experiences and astral travel, and they wake up lucid in their dreams, and they can maneuver things in their dreams, and and then people, like I said, astral travel to different places, and some people go to whole like astral worlds. Like for example, like Jay Skyrunner's in the chat. Jay Skyrunner, he's been a dream walker for like 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. He's been walking the astral, and like people like Priscilla and Christy Campbell, they can all dream walk. They walk the astral realms. Like, it's like it's pretty interesting. It's like I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. I'm not that good with that stuff yet. But I mean, I know people are able to do it. So what I'm saying is, I think the astral and the dream realm are like similar. It's like a similar place, if not the same place. I don't know.
Something.
Some people might disagree with me on that.
Yeah, I guess a lot of us are maybe taking people to the new earth. I've heard. I've had people tell me that, and I've had dreams where I'm showing people how to fly and stuff like that in my dreams, and we're jumping off a cliff and stuff, teaching them how to fly like Superman. And I have dreams that I'm practicing and going places and stuff like that. So a lot of us might be the bridge to this new earth even, but then there's also lower astral realms, I guess, that are not good, and I've had dreams about those as well, and underground places, crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
you need to tell Kreia to call in.
Oh yeah, how's she doing?
She's been seeing a ship following her and stuff. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I want to hear people's experiences. I want people to call in. People get shy. They get shy about calling in, but like,
don't be shy.
Make the show more fun.
Yeah, let's make this show fun. Yeah.
In the chat says she can lucid dream wide awake. That's pretty amazing.
Ooh, that's crazy. There's, I don't know, these pictures aren't showing up very well, but I could show some of these pictures. I just ran across this lady named Dr. Carla Turner, I guess.
Well, I'm a big fan of Dr. Carla Turner. She wrote the book Masquerade of Angels. She used to come on Art Bell back in the day. Well, we were talking about this last night. We do have a call. We have a live call. we can get it. But no, I'm a big Tara Turner fan. What made you get into her?
Somebody just told me about her the other day, and I watched her videos because I was telling them about that experience with the orb and the little brown man or tan man or whatever. And she says in her video that the tan ones were nicer. Some of the people reported these tan ones nicer beings, but they didn't go into detail. She talked about just different people's stories, all kind of different stories, showed cow
Yeah.
mutilations and all kinds of
You know,
things.
we were talking about this last night. She was one of the first people to start talking about like military abductions. Like she was talking about the fact that her and her husband were being abducted by aliens. And this was back in the 80s and 90s, like she came on Art Bell, I think in like 92 or 94, but here, let's take this live call and see who's calling
We got
in.
one? Hey.
Yeah, we got one. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, you're live on the air with Amanda Joan of Heart and the Typical Skeptic podcast. Who's calling, please?
Hey guys, it's Dialman.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, nice to talk to you all.
Yeah, can you hear it, Amanda? Okay, great.
Yeah, I just want to let you know I really appreciate your work and what you guys are doing, and it's good to talk to you. You've probably seen me mention I'm a heavily targeted individual. I've been going through an experience that's gone on for about 3 years now, where it would take me forever to explain it. But, basically I was like electrolyzed is what they called it. I was abducted by the Greys and the reptilians. And because I found all this out later because at first I didn't know what the hell was going on. It felt like I was in this force field, and I'm still getting hit with this every day. I'm like in this force field current kind of thing. And there's like remote influence on my body, and I was having all sorts of problems with like, thought interference and just really like just getting hit really hard, like targeted. And it's taken an incredible amount of strength for me to get through it all. But then I basically found out later on through because I use dowsing rods too with like a thesaurus, and that's kind of how all of it started, and I think how they identified who I was. And then later I started getting like downloads, and like all the trauma opened up my telepathic abilities. So then I was able to start communicating with these beings like telepathically, and I basically just reached out for help, and I was like, hey, I need something to show up and help me deal with this, because I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought at first I was like, what is this, Kundalini or what? I didn't know what the hell it was. And so eventually, my starseed family showed up, and I started receiving help, and I could just tell that from like echoes of like past lives, and I started getting downloads about what had happened, and through dreams and stuff, and why. And the why of it was, and this was before, I didn't even believe in extraterrestrials before all of this. So like, you gotta imagine, like, that's how bizarre all of this was for me. I was living a completely normal life until all of this, And basically, it was told to me that I'm a starseed, and I'm here at a time, where we're trying to help Earth evolve, right? And so I was targeted because of a political contention that was going on between my starseed family, which is the Arcturians, who the way I understand it, I'm not an Arcturian, but I'm adopted by the Arcturians, because I've had previous lives where I've been tangled up with the same situation with the Greys and the reptilians, just wreaking havoc and causing chaos, right? And so I think this is their domain, and all these star seeds came to the planet at this time, and that's why a lot of us are being targeted.
Galman, we have a question in the audience for you. So Jerry Lahane wants to know, what age did you start getting attacked and targeted? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was in April of, it's almost been 3 years. So it was April of 2023, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's so weird. Well, basically, and they were like harvesting my sexual energy, and I mean, the whole thing was so messed up. I was basically, what I found out is I was taken on board the ships, and I remember this from one of my dreams, waking up out of a dream. I had a flashback of what had happened. They experimented on me with some new weapon that this is my guide's words, not mine, said they electrolyzed me. So whatever the hell that means. They basically blew out my energy field so that I had like no protection. And I can feel like the magnetic pole of the ships and stuff around my house. Like I can go outside, look up, see the UFOs. You can see them. I mean, there are a lot of them. They're out there. They look all flashy, and I think those are the grays, the blue and red ones that flash. I think the orange ones are the reptilians, but I don't know that for sure.
Do you think there's any? Do you think there's any good guys out there? Do you think there's anybody out there trying to help the planet?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why I was targeted, because a lot of us are here on the ground, right?
Yeah,
but
like starseed incarnates. Yeah,
dude, we have a huge, vast network. You've got to think of all the souls you're connected to, like from all the lives you've lived, right? I mean, I think we're probably all starseeds in some way, except for maybe some of the people who've been trapped here for a long time. But I think we're trying to break down the prison planet architecture and the luge harvesting architecture. That's why I was electrolyzed, is because I was put into a luge ring, basically. So like they can harvest my energy and shit. It really sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah,
but
you know what Renetta said yesterday when I put out a video with Renetta Jones, and her information was amazing, man. She was saying that like if you're in these forced breeder programs, you know, where if you're a guy and they're taking your sexual stuff, then that means they probably put chips in your testicles. And if you're a woman and you're in these breeder programs, they probably chip the woman's vagina. Like this is like, because they want to track people and they want to, you know what I mean? But that's realistically what she said is going on. It's kind of scary, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what luge is for, but you know, you can go look up, like Robert Monroe did a bunch of studies on it. The Journeys Out of Body series.
I have his book.
Did.
Yeah, he was a pioneer. Yeah. You know, he did an interview with Art Bell too back in the day. Robert Monroe. It's a good one too. You know, like even though it's like, you know, it's probably a little bit outdated now because like, you know, but like it's still really good information. You know, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's a really important part of the story that's happening, you know, and, but we definitely have help because I was in such a desperate situation that I was having a hard time surviving from one day to the next, you know, and I was like, I just reached out to the universe. I was like, look, whatever's out there that's more powerful than whatever it is I'm dealing with, I need help. Right. And I immediately, when my starseed family showed up, I immediately sensed their energy, and I recognized it because when I was a young child, I was really sad that I had left something and I didn't know what it was. And every time I would try to reach back to those memories, there was like this white wall of electric noise in my mind that would not allow me to access those memories, right? So I knew I was being blocked from something, but I didn't know what. And the moment they showed up, I felt that energy again. You know, I was like, I know I can trust this energy, right? And ever since, that was like October, about a year ago. And since then, things have slowly been getting better, and they've been doing like these metaphysical surgeries on my energy body and stuff. It's all very physical. Like I can feel everything that's, very physically feel all the metaphysical stuff that's going on with my subtle energy body. And I'll wake up and have marks on my body sometimes from, I don't really have too many conscious recollections of the abduction experience, but I know, I know things are going on. And, but anyhow, I just thought I would kind of tell a little bit of my story.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to have you on for a full show. Like you could come on with me and Amanda, maybe if you want to. Like if you want to do a full show, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I would consider it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I definitely tried to stay anonymous with.
So I think Amanda wants to. I think Amanda wants to respond. Go ahead, Amanda. Sorry.
Now this electrolysis, whatever how you say that, is it like you're being electrocuted?
Could you hear her? I don't have it set up real good. She said, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Sorry. Could you repeat it?
She said, does it feel like you're being electrocuted?
No, but I have, I have one other important thing to say. So when I had that flashback, they did electrocute me, and I had flashbacks of being shocked, and I temporarily died for a moment. And then they brought me back. So the stuff I've been to, like, it doesn't feel like I'm being electrocuted at all. Sometimes it does, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll hit me, and it feels kind of like I'm being shocked. I did have like a 1 week or two where that was happening a lot. But here's an interesting one. So one night they were doing like a metaphysical surgery on me, and I kind of felt my life force slipping away. And I all of a sudden I felt like this urgent situation was going on, and I felt a lot of like a rush of a lot of spiritual energy going on around me. And they were telling me telepathically, they're like, hang in there, you need to fight. And I started flipping out, and as I started flipping out, I started to bilocate. And
holy shit!
I saw in that experience my ET body was struggling and I saw myself in stasis. So I'm actually an ET in stasis somewhere. And what had happened is because of this electrolyte thing, they had to change out the fluid in my tank. And when they did that, things didn't go as expected. And I started choking on the fluid. My ET body started choking on the fluid. And because my ET body was struggling, they were trying to keep me alive there. My life force here in this body started to slip out. And as I slipped out, I bilocated and had an out-of-body experience and was seeing like how it was that I was incarnated here. And that's why I'm quote unquote a star seed, right? And I'm not saying all star seeds are incarnated here in that way, but there could be a lot of us, some of us could be incarnated in that way. So
yeah. Well, this is amazing. All right, we'll respond, and thank you so much for calling in. And email me, Jason. So I'll put my email in the chat. I'd like to set up a full interview with you, and we'll take some more calls. Yeah, and this was awesome, and thanks, man, and thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, yeah, sure thing.
Oh, wait, I accidentally dropped the call. That was amazing. I mean, that's why I love these call-ins, because you never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like, he has an amazing story,
Yeah.
But that's everybody who's watching your channel or my channel, like a lot of them have like experiences like that they're trying to figure out what's going on with their life. You know what I mean? Like, just like you are, like with your experience, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It is happening to people, it's like, I don't know. What did you think of that? Like,
I had a lot of questions I wanted. Just, wondering how he dealt with getting simulated thoughts. Like he said that some of his thoughts started being simulated, and he like knew that they weren't his thoughts. Like, how did you deal with that? You know, the, the way he said the lecture, whatever. I thought about, my experience where I woke up with electric currents running down my arms, from my armpits down my arms and out my hands, but they were only going out these 3 fingers of my hands in that experience. And then somebody gave me the little boy Jesus doll. It's called the Infant of Prague, and I was given that doll shortly after that experience, and was like, wait a minute, these are the same 3 fingers that Jesus holds up. And then Horus holds up those same fingers. And then Hermes in Greece holds up those same fingers. So I thought it was a God thing, because of the synchronicity and having that experience. And then somebody giving me this doll. And then the other hand of that doll has the blue orb. Jesus, the little boy Jesus holds the blue ball in his hand. And then shortly after that, I looked up the meaning of that blue ball. It means kingship. And then I started shortly after that playing with blue orbs that would come down when I would go to meditate or whatever. And I'd just be like rolling these orbs through my hands, going,
Wow.
what is it? I believe it's like creator light consciousness that we're able to access that can heal others. Because I also watched one of those blue orbs go into a man's stomach that had cancer, and a golf ball size of cancer was gone.
Wow.
And I just, I had prayed for the guy too, but I said, there's an orb, hovering in front of you. Can I pray? And then that orb went in front of his stomach and said, can I pray for you again? It's going in front of your stomach where you have that ball of cancer, So I prayed for the guy, and I heard from him a month later, and he said he went to his doctors and checked the test twice because he didn't believe the doctor, but it was completely gone.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
you
so
have amazing healing abilities. I have a guest. I have someone coming on like after this. I have Brad Brody coming on. He's going to show his he has amazing evidence of like entities in the sky. Like he has like, I told him he could have joined us here, but I don't know if I should just do a separate show or like, how much time do you have?
entities in the sky.
Yeah, he has like pictures. He gets like pictures like, and they're like aliens like in the sky. I mean, I can do it after we're done here. It's not,
Yeah, I don't care. You can bring whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, you want me to show some of these Dr. Carla Turner, and then the other question.
Yeah. And then what we'll do is I'll do the show with him after this, like, like as soon as we're done, like, because I told him 9:00, so like it's only 8:20, like, or
Okay.
we got time.
Yeah,
We're
we can
good.
wrap this up. We're almost done, I think, or whatever. He can jump on here. That's cool. How does he do that?
He knows you. He says he's in the chat. He says, I know Amanda. I don't think she remembers me though. His name's Brad Brody. He's friends with Jermaine.
I know that name. When I see him, I'll be like, oh yeah, duh.
Do you want to send me a StreamYard link and I'll put it in the chat? Or like, how do I could send him a StreamYard link.
Yeah, let me send this. Well, how do we do that? Can we send the StreamYard link in the chat?
Just put it in the chat. I'm gonna go take a leak. Like, just like if you were gonna send me a StreamYard link, just and then you can just add them. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, Brad. I'll be right back.
I think I know who it is. So I'm going to go through some of these pictures while he's taking a leak. Okay, let's see. So this right here is a device. He just talked about how he felt like they splintered his consciousness or something. These grays will take this device and take your spiritual essence, soul essence from your body, put it into this device, I believe, and then put it into, it can move it into a clone's body. And I guess one of the people was put into a clone body. I guess his mom said that for 2 weeks he thought he was on fire in this new clone body from switching his soul to this new clone body. These are what some of the beings look like. They froze for this picture so that the person could get a mental picture of them, that they could draw this picture. But this is kind of what the little being that I saw looked like, but he was short, was maybe 3 foot, not even 3.5 foot tall.
Wow.
That I saw. This is a reptilian that somebody drew. What the reptilian looked like?
Are those like the shadow reptilians that can kind of like they can like hang on us and stuff like that? They're like around people like astrally and stuff like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess they can do that too. They can you can be a house for a reptilian being. They can, I forget the word for that. But yeah, they can do all that stuff.
This is great that you got this information. This is you know, like some of these old alien abduction cases are the best ones to study because it gives you, you know, and I love Dr. Carla Turner's work. I was a big fan of her work. Like, you know, like you know who else is a big fan of, not just a fan of Carla Turner, but they knew Carla Turner, is James Bartley and Eve Lorgan. The lady who wrote Alien Love Bite, Eve Lorgan, and James Bartley, that she was their mentor. Like Carla Turner and Barbara Bartholomew were James Bartley and Eve Lorgan's mentors. So like when you see James, they used to do conferences and stuff better back in the day, but they think that Carla Turner was seriously murdered, and they think Barbara Bartholomew was murdered. Barbara Bartholomew was an alien abduction researcher too back in the 90s. But like Carla Turner was coming out with some stuff that was like really shaking up the world back then. Like you guys gotta think in the audience that it was a complete different time. It was like people couldn't come forward like they can now. And when someone came forward back in the day, it was like, it was very like if you look at like John Mack, for example, you know, he was a professor at Harvard, and he was, you know, interviewing, he was like doing alien abduction cases. He wrote books on it and stuff. And, you know, I think that's why he was killed, you know, because like it was a, sorry, I'll let you go, Amanda. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. Just, I'm going to go through these pictures while you were talking, because I'm just going to show these pictures and you can just keep talking so people can screenshot this or whatever they want.
Yeah.
This one's kind of hard to see. Some of these aren't the greatest pictures, but something.
Do you think you've been abducted, Amanda? Do you think you've had like alien abduction experiences?
Well, when I lived in California, let's see.
I didn't know you lived in California.
When I lived in California for 2 years, I lived in the, they call it, I found out later when I moved back home, they call it the Devil's Triangle. And
oh, I know. Yeah, I did that. I did a video on that. I mean, to tell the audience, they might not know, you know?
So from Santa Monica, where I lived, to Catalina Island to Long Beach, California, makes a triangle. And that's where the most abductions happen. They say a lot of the CIA people will abduct people and pretend to be grays. But in I would have dreams. I remember like a 1 week straight out of the 2 years that I lived there, I remember having at least 1 or 2 dreams of where I'm in a ship. One of them, I was in a circular ship and I was naked, and there was a bunch of naked people, and we were all like in a circle, like a half circle. I could only see like half a circle of us around this ship. But there was a big, huge muscle guy next to me, like really in shape guy next to me. And I remember peeking out my eyes, and I was supposed to be zombied out. Like all the people in the ship were zombied out and they were naked. And I was just like peeking out my eyes, and I could see, you know, what was going on. And then next thing you know, I'm on a table. And I was on a silver cold table. And I remember they started playing with me down in my genital areas. And it was like arousing. It wasn't painful or anything. I was just being like stimulated and aroused, and I just remember that part of the
They
dream.
do that. The aliens do that to stimulate sexual response, so they can take an egg. They do that to take your. They want to take your eggs. You know, it's disgusting to say that, but like that's why they do that. Or that's what Dr. David Jacobs would say. They used to study. He was like studied alien. You know, I think they do. They. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You know, but like that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I know they're trying to get my eggs now. you know, but yeah, I remember them playing with me, and then next thing you know, I remember like getting off the table or something and looking right in the face this gray alien, and I don't think it could have been CIA, but I don't know unless they use them for drones and they've cloned these things or something. Which I heard they have. You know, they supposedly these are AI like drones, and any ET race or whatever can use these as their drones. So they could be good or bad drones. But it was a short, small gray alien, and then I remember waking up and trying to not remember what that face looked like, and I was like, I don't want to remember that part, and I remember trying to block that part of it out, and I never could quite forget it. And then I remember that week I went to the Marina Del Rey and was talking to a friend of mine who was a captain, and he went on to tell me that he was walking down the street one day, and next thing you know, he was up in a ship, and then he said that they had him on a silver table and that they were playing with him down there, and he won't even talk about this stuff. He is terrified of it all, but yeah, they must have done some traumatizing stuff to him and he was a lot older than me. So God knows how long he was in some kind of what program. I don't know. But yeah, then I moved back home from California and find out, you know, the gray race has a hybrid program. So you got that. So this picture here is the alien was removing this alien didn't like and was a breakaway alien group that didn't like what the aliens were doing to the people and were apologizing to the person and removed the implant that their race put in him.
Wow.
And then so they put it behind the ear, and then they put it in the back of the neck. So back of the neck of the ears, behind the ear or behind the earlobe right here. So that's where they like to put them. So feel around in those areas. If you have anything in those areas, I would, I don't know what the heck to do about it, but you know.
Yeah. I remember they were saying Whitley Strieber had one in his ear, and he went to go get it removed. And when the surgeon went to try to remove the implant, it moved. It actually it had sentience and it moved. You know.
Wow. Yeah, and I think they like to put them in people's boobs too.
Yeah.
Like I have a small cyst in my boob that I like pinched one day, and it like broke, like it disappeared into my body, and then it ended up coming right back to the same spot. But I guess that's what maybe cysts can do. I don't know. Here's some of Christos Avatar's things. I ran across this video on this. It was a short, so check out his shorts. But he's talking about the Thoth Enki is the Liltan Anunnaki. Marduk is Satan Anunnaki, and Necromiton, beetle, reptilian, etc. So this is breaking down. He's saying that the Enki Anunnaki hybrids are Luciferian, insectoid reptilian serpents, and that the Enlil Anunnaki hybrids are Luciferian, and the Marduk Anunnaki hybrids
I love this.
are Luciferian, but hold on a minute. One of them was Satan. Satan was a Marduk Anunnaki hybrid, I thought. Yeah. So Marduk is Satan Anunnaki. So Marduk is Satan. And you had Arkim Ra
Yeah.
on the other night, and he was talking about Satan or Baal and fighting Baal and all that. And he was talking about the Anunnaki, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just
yeah.
thought, this is crazy. So you got that. So that was it. Yeah, and other than that, Ireland, everybody marching right now and stuff in other countries. Ireland, Germany, France, Poland, Britain, Australia, Spain, and Austria are all fighting, and it's not being covered by mainstream media.
What are they fighting? Like,
Just a lot of them, what is it? Let's move this out. What is that new thing they're supposed to have? The biometric data marks, or what is it called?
oh, the digital ID.
Digital ID. Got it. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So is your friend coming on, or is you just
We're
gonna?
gonna do it. We're gonna do a separate show. But Susan says they're fighting the Muslim invaders that are raping women and children. You know, my friend Indigo Angel. This is something she gets into heavy. You know, like she gets into like the Muslim what's going on with the fighting them. You know, there's a lot of Muslim invaders. Yeah, you know, it's I mean that's a touchy subject. You know, because like it's like are they doing it as a psyop? You know what I mean? Like, why are they letting all these immigrants into our country? And they're doing it in London, they're doing it in Australia, and it's do you have an opinion on that, Amanda, or what do you think? Like,
Now I know a lot of great Muslims, so I heard that the religion was created by the Roman Catholic Church, though. I guess the bishop, years ago before the religion was created, the bishop told one of the sisters to go and basically find themselves basically like a Jesus figure to start this new religion. And they started the Muslim faith somehow. So I don't know. That's somebody else said. I heard that too, Amanda. Yeah. So, we're all being compromised here. I think we all need to wake up to what love really is. And if it ain't love, then what is it? So
yeah,
I think that's a pretty hard line in the sand that needs to be drawn, and we need to start doing what's right for all of humanity and the planet and all of, the animals and all the kingdoms of God, the real true creator God, not some Anunnaki playing God, like Enlil or Enki creator. Talking about the God that created all that is before this matrix reality was created, like in the Gnostic texts talk about, we got these archons, and this matrix reality was created and the archons are running it, and that's these grays, and that's these reptilians and Luciferian covenant plans, and we have to stop it and get out of the box and stop judging one another and love one another.
I agree. Well, this has been amazing. I guess we could finish up now.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll do Brad Brody's going to come on next. I got to make the link. So give me like 15 minutes to make a thumbnail and a link. And like, maybe I'll just make a link and I'll make a thumbnail afterwards because I'd like to get him on. He's going to show some of his evidence of, like ancient entities in the sky. You'll see. You guys will love it. So I'll be live again in 20 minutes about I'll be going. Yeah. And then that'll be the last one for the night, but, yeah, like I mean, we should do more shows, Amanda. This was good. I had a lot of fun. I mean, it's not just it's like more. It's like this is like what we're supposed to do to like expose what's going on. Like so. I don't. It's not. I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you guys, and yeah, go to thank you for posting my YouTube channel. So I do have a YouTube channel, Amanda Joan of Heart, or I also have a new one as my 2.0. And it's awakenandunite.com on YouTube. And then I also have one on Rumble. If it doesn't come up on Rumble, put a space after the awakenandunite.com and hit space. You obviously have to join premium. It's not popping up right away, but you have to like play with the name and then it comes up. It's so aggravating. Yeah, and then my website, awakenandunite.com. Check it out. Please share it out. It's really important information that we got to wake up on. And I have real solutions on how to restore a republic and ways to stand up and how people are standing up to this tyrannical stuff going on, like the data centers and everything. That's a harm on the people. And so go to my Republic page on my website for information on how you can stand up and create something in your county today. And look at the other ways people are winning that a lot of people aren't talking about.
Yeah,
we got to start talking about this stuff.
Well said. Yeah. Well, do you want to play your outro before we? Are you
Sure.
Are you going to play an outro?
Yeah. Great.
Thank you guys, and I'll be live again in 20 minutes, and I'll see. Yeah, and
thank you guys
Amanda.
for showing up and promoting this and everything you're doing. And please keep doing something. We need to do something. God bless.
Yeah, share the video, guys. Share the video. I think everybody in the chat's really happy about this show. Like everybody's like, yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on.
My name is Amanda Joan Quimper. I've had prophetic dreams, angelic encounters, revelations, and a vision from God to bring awareness to modern moral issues. I want to share my creative arts, poetry, experiences, and stories with you. God is abundantly above and beyond what we could have asked or even imagined. And the most important truth that exists is love.